I think you also think that because they make you look like a douchebag who just sits on a yacht.
I'd be okay with that.
No. All right, so it is March 31st, which means a couple things. First up, we are off on Easter break, which is super cool. Also means I get to be drinking my wine and my beautiful little it's a Silence of the Lambs glass. You can't really see it, but it's got a little the moth on it. It says a census taker once tried to test me. My arm is killing me because I just got my second COVID vaccine shot today, so that's good. But my arm is not wanting to lift, so this is going to be a fun experience. But also, it's time for my March unhaul slash book haul. As always, there are a lot more books being hauled than being unhauled. I do have some also movies that I'm unhauling today too. So that's kind of fun. But we're going to do the unhaul first because it is shorter. One stack here. First up, I've got Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. This is a relatively decent thriller. I didn't hate it. It struck me as a little bit too cartoonish, and I don't really want to keep it around. I've got 20 by Deborah Landwehr Angle, which was entirely forgettable. I got I'll do the last book first. And I've got Fat Boy Swim by Catherine Ford, which was fun. It was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be, but I don't need to keep it around. And now the movies I'm getting rid of. I'm getting rid of 300, Heavy Trip, All Dogs Go to Heaven on VHS, Beavis and Butthead Do America, Amityville to The Possession, which, by the way, Ronald DeFeo just died in prison, so that's kind of exciting. Iron Will on VHS. Mary Poppins on VHS. All Dogs Go to Heaven 2 on VHS. Sleeping Beauty on VHS. Fun fact, even though my name is Aurora, I hated this movie growing up because I was terrified of Maleficent. Oliver and Company on VHS. Steel Justice on VHS. And finally, Triple X with Vin Diesel on VHS. So that's all that I'm getting rid of. Only 3 books, which is a bit of a problem, I admit. But I just read a lot of really good books this past month, so I didn't want to get rid of any of them. When it comes to books I'm taking in, I gave up on the book buying ban again. So I've got, I'd say 4.5 stacks here. I think April's going to be really bad, honestly. Because I reintroduced lots of books on eBay into my life, but we'll just get started. This is a struggle. You never realize how much you use your left arm. At least it wasn't my right one. Anyway, so first up, I've got a book I won from Goodreads. Can You Hear Me Now? By Suzanne Rupp Damali. This is about public education, which is interesting to me, especially as a teacher myself. So it should be interesting. I'm assuming it's already out because I don't think this is an arc, but I don't know for sure. I've got Scott Pilgrim 5. Scott Pilgrim vs. the Universe Volume 5. I kind of am collecting these haphazardly. I don't know when I don't have number 2. I've read number 1. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when I get around to actually finishing the series. I've got another paperback from hell. I have A Nest of Nightmares by Lisa Tuttle. I read Let's Go Play at the Adamses a couple months ago, I think in February, so last month. And I've been looking to get the rest of the paperbacks from hell because I do think it's a very fun kind of set of books. And this one was actually came very highly recommended. So I'm excited to get this one. I believe it is short stories, so that should be really fun. Then I got the new Stephen King book, which is Later. I've heard that this is super gory, which I like a lot. I've heard that it is just really gnarly and cool. And honestly, I haven't really enjoyed the other 2 hard case crime books all that much. Joyland was marginally better than The Colorado Kid. I've heard really good things about this one though, so I am very excited to get into it. It's a little bit longer than Colorado Kid, which is great. But yeah, I'm very excited for Stephen King's fall release this year too. I'm super excited for that. But I did get this. Then I got a gift certificate for a gift card to Barnes & Noble for Christmas. Yes, in March. We postponed our Christmas celebration until we felt more comfortable with it. I just got my second vaccine shot, so obviously it wasn't ideal, but we went. I got a Barnes & Noble gift card, and I picked up Extreme Killers by Michael Newton. This is part of the Profiles in Crime series. I had Killer Cults. I read that last year. So this has a bunch of serial killers. It's got I think I picked it up because it has Pee Wee Gaskins and it has Robert Pickton and a lot of really, really fun killers in here. So this should be a fun one. I enjoyed Killer Cults. Then I picked up The House of the Spirits by Isabel Allende. This is I think it's a Mexican novel. I think it's magical realism. It's a classic, maybe a modern classic you would call it. I don't know when it came out. It came out in the 80s, so I would say a modern classic. So I'm pretty excited to get into this one. Then I've got Fairest by Gail Carson Levine. I really loved both Ella Enchanted and The Two Princesses of Bamar when I was a kid. I never read her other books, so I am pretty excited to read this one. I remember seeing it in the library bunch. I think I checked it out once or twice too. I never read it, so I'm excited about this one. We shall see. Then I've got my March Book of the Month book. And this one was, I only bought one. I did not get any add-ons in March. I already picked out my April ones. I definitely picked out add-ons in April. But March, I only got one. And that is The Final Revival of Opal and Nev by Donnie Walton. This is about I think it's like a black punk singer, I want to say she was. Or I think she was, a black artist, punk artist before her time. And so that looked really fun to me. I think it's in the same veins as Daisy Jones and the Six, where it's kind of supposed to be like an oral history. It seemed really interesting. This, honestly, March's month had so many really cool looking books. I honestly just went and which one is the longest of the three that I really wanted? And it turned out to be this one. I'm very glad it was because I'm pretty excited about it. Then I've got another book I want from Goodreads, and that is Just Work by Kim Scott. Get Shit Done Fast and Fair. This is, I'm assuming, a motivational self-help book kind of thing. So it's very, very floppy. It is an ARC. It says on sale March 2021. So on sale 3/16/2021. So it will already be out by the time I'm filming this. But it's very floppy, very thick. Should be a fun time. Okay, stack. All right. So then I went to the little used bookstore in my town. I walked down there. I was going for a walk and I was like, it'd be really nice if I stopped in the used bookstore and then stopped next door for an Italian cream soda, and that's what I did. So at the bookstore, I bought American Gods by Neil Gaiman. I read The Ocean at the End of the Lane earlier this year, and I really, really enjoyed it, so I wanted to get into some more Neil Gaiman. Before that one, I'd only ever read his children's work, so I was excited to see that. I also got Goodnight Kiss by R.L. Stine. This is a Fear Street book. I love my cheesy 90s teen horror. I got The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. I really enjoyed the Narnia books when I was younger. And I used to have this big bind-up of all of them, but some that got destroyed pretty much. It was just unreadable, so I just left it. And so I've been looking to kind of replenish my collection of them because they're really fun, imaginative books, even if they're heavy Christian mythology. Then I picked up Animorphs Volume 3, The Encounter. I couldn't remember if I had this one or not. Do I have it up here? I don't have it on my shelf, so if I have it, I haven't read it yet. So we'll see on that one. But I am collecting the Animorphs books in their original covers, so that is super exciting. I picked up another childhood series. I got a lot of childhood series in this one. And that is Sammy Keys and the Hollywood Mummy by Gwendolyn Van Dranen. Sammy Keys, when I was 9 years old, Sammy Keys was my fucking hero. She was so cool. I remember because she wore high tops and she jaywalked and she was just so cool. I wanted to be Sammy Keys, and I have a couple of the Sammy Keys books in the book wall because the library I worked out withdrew them like idiots. But now I have another one here too. I'm super excited about that. I like that a lot. Then I did get one other Neil Gaiman book. I got Anansi Boys, which again I've only read Ocean at the End of the Lane. I've just picked up this one too. I think this one might actually be some kind of sequel. So I don't know. But I will look more into that when I get to it. And then finally, this is the last one. I picked up Half Bad by Sally Reed in paperback. I do have these books all in hardcover because I really enjoyed the series. But I don't know, it just called to me. I had to buy it. Then the first lot of buying books on eBay, and this is a lot of manga. I went manga, and then I went a couple of horror, and then I went a couple of young adult. So I don't think any of the young adult lots have come, but oh no, wait. First, I have a book that I took from withdrawn books, and this is something that's going to kind of shock some of you guys, especially considering that I am a pretty stout atheist. It's a copy of the New Testament with Psalms and Proverbs as given by the Gideons. I figured I will read it and treat it like the fiction it is, so that's going to be fun. See if it's any good. Then I've got my my manga lot. So first I've got Ouran High School Host Club Volume 3. And Ouran High School Host Club Volume 2. I only ever read Volume 1. I did watch the series because it was a very fun series. Now I have Volumes 2 and 3. I don't have Volume 1 anymore, but I can at least read 2 and 3. I got Harlequin Violet Response volume. This is not a volume. It's just Harlequin Violet Response. So that's kind of fun. And then it continues in stack. I've got Dengeki Daisy Volume 5. Strobe Edge Volume 7. Oh, frick. LDK Volume 3. And finally, The Earl and the Fairy Volume 4. So that's the first manga lot. I do have another manga lot in here. And another one coming. We're not going to talk about that. Then I got another book that I took from Weeding Books at the school, and that is this copy of Uncle Tom's Cabin without a front cover. I've never read Uncle Tom's Cabin, but it is a seminal work of literature, so I figure I will. You can see there I do have my received written down, so I almost spilled my wine. That was terrifying. So I'm going to move that up here, I think. I do think that is very much going to greatly depress me at some point. Then I picked up Maniac by Harold Schechter, who is a very well-loved true crime author. This is about the Bath School massacre, I want to say. And this is then the birth of the modern mass killer, which is really exciting. Then I have a book that Stephen desperately wants to steal, and that is Understanding Physics by Isaac Asimov. This may not look like a book for me. I just want to read and know everything, but if Steven wants to borrow it first, he definitely can. But yeah, it's just this big book that Asimov wrote about physics. I've never read anything by Asimov, so I might as well read his giant tome about understanding of physics before I read any of his fiction. Anyway, then I picked up Walk to Moon by Sharon Creech, which was another book that I really enjoyed as a child. And another R.L. Stine book, which is Revenge R. Us, which is part of the Series 2000, which I did not read as a child, but I'm now collecting too because I love me some R.L. Stine. Then I picked up The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. I haven't read anything by Grady Hendrix. All I know is that me and Grady Hendrix are some of the only people who have read the Horoscope books on Goodreads, and he has a much lower opinion of them than I do. But I do know that he is kind of a big figure in modern horror. So I figured I would give this one a shot. I own We Sold Our Souls. I haven't read it yet. I'm very interested in My Best Friend's Exorcism. And even like, what was it called? The IKEA one, Horror Store. And definitely the paperbacks from hell. So I figured I'd pick this one up. It's a beautiful book. It looks really fun. Then I've got a big stack of Robert Heinlein novels, another lot off of eBay. But I have Methuselah's Children, Assignment in Eternity, Beyond This Horizon, stack 4 here, folks. The Menace from Earth, Revolt in 2100, The Puppet Masters, and The Door into Summer. So I've got all those. And then I've got Waiting for Daisy by Peggy Orenstein, who wrote Sex and Boys, which I read. And I really liked her style of writing nonfiction. So I did want to get more of her work, so she's a big nonfiction writer. I also picked up Embrace by Jessica Shervington, which looks like a cheesy teen paranormal romance. And something I know is a cheesy teen dystopian romance. I picked up Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi. And I know I said so many times that I was never going to read Shatter Me. Because back when I was starting doing BookTube, Shatter Me was everywhere and it was everybody's favorite thing. And I said I was never going to read it. And here I am. Just proof that you should never listen to a single goddamn word I say. Anyway, I got some more manga. First up, I've got Corpse Party Blood Covered Volume 2 by Makoto Keidwan and Toshimi Shinomiya. This took so long to come that I got a refund for it, but then it came, so this is super fun. This is the second Corpse Party book. I watched the anime with Steven. I owned the first one as well. Got this off of eBay. Then I picked up a couple self-published books. I picked up Camp Slaughter by Sergio Gomez, which it looks like a very cheesy slashery horror book, which I am always into, and a true crime book. Blind Rage by Anita Paddock, which is the true story of sin, sex, and murder in a small Arkansas town. Fuck Arkansas, but I believe this is written by a woman who grew up in this town, so that should be super fun. And then I've got my other lot of manga, which was Bleach, which was my very first anime. And then one more book that I got from the weeded section. First up, the Bleach. I've got volume 37, volume 22, volume 25, and hold on, we got stack 0.5 over here. Volume 24, volume 23, and volume 21. So I got all those, which is very exciting. I loved Bleach as a child. And finally, lastly, I've got Red by Erica Spindler, which is falling apart, and that's why we got rid of it, but I'll give it one last read before it eventually dies. Anyway, so yeah, that is my March book haul / unhaul for 2021. I will see you on April 30th after a full month of doing Camp Nano, so that should be super fun. But yeah, that is all for today. I will talk to you later, and goodbye.